Life-changing wisdom in 5 minutes. A former millionaire reveals the truth. Welcome back to the channel. Let's jump in and see what this guy has to say. Maybe we can pick up some clues from his experience.
Hi, my name's Steve, and I was a millionaire and miserable, and now I'm pretty close to broke and way happier. So today we're going to talk about 1,000 years of life wisdom rolled up into 5 statements.
Whoa.
And the most important one that literally by itself can change the rest of your life is the last one we're going to talk to. So the first belief is a statement by someone named Friedrich Nietzsche. And his statement was, become who you are. And so become who you are means taking off your societal mask, your persona, the thing that you present when you're out in the world, and looking deeper than cultural expectations and really seeing what you value at your core and what your passions are and what makes you feel really, really alive, and digging into that. So the question you have to ask yourself on this one is, whose life are you living? Are you living a life that is your own, that's based on your own values? Or is it based on someone else, families, cultural expectations? And how can you really dig in and find your values that really essentially tell you who you really are?
Let's talk about that for a moment. Excuse me. That's really good. This guy, he's off to a great start if that is number one. Become who you are. Whose life are you living? That is fantastic. Makes me think of the, I forget who said it, George someone, I forget the last name. It's never too late to become who you might have been, right? Lao Tzu also has some interesting ideas on this. I forget what he said at the moment, but it may come to me. But this whole idea of become who you are comes back to know thyself, right? The inscription was on one of the temples. I want to say temple at Delphi in the Greek, for the Greeks, in the Greek area there. It's vital. It's vital. Everything about the modern world is designed to make you look outward. Look over here, bright, shiny object, this game, this movie, this sport, this drama, this television show. There's so much pulling our attention outward because the system, the people who created the system need you to look outward. If you start looking inward and start knowing yourself, you don't need them. This is why yogis and monks can go into caves and meditate for, their whole life. They can just chill by themselves for their whole life. And many people are starting to pull out of the system and like homestead and do other things because they know themselves and they ground themselves and they touch that. It's the same thing that the Buddha did when he went into the forest. He touched the ground to signify that he was truly awake then, right? I don't know. I think it's profound. Let's continue.
The second statement by a very well-known psychologist, Carl Jung, boils down to suffering with meaning is far better than comfort without purpose. In other words, don't shy away from suffering if you're doing something that is meaningful in your life and that brings you and others around you real, true value. So if you think about it, when have you really found true fulfillment in your life? Is it when you're chasing like cheap pleasures? Or is it when you're doing something that is bigger than yourself? That's the real question of this one. To wrap this
let's hear what his last statement is here.
One up. Find something that is meaningful, that has purpose in your life, that you'll have to struggle for, because the struggle is what makes life that rich. So in a sort of
That's awesome. Let me share some thoughts on that. I like to think about what Charles Bukowski said. I think he said something to the effect of this: find what you love to do and let it kill you. This also makes me think of Viktor Frankl and his like body of work around meaning, right? He believed we're all searching for meaning. I think that too. This is why I really came to understand myself in new ways because of the COVID pandemic, because here's what happens. As we walk through life, if we are awake and aware, we're going to be walking more towards ourselves, or we're going to walk on an inner journey towards self-knowledge and self-awareness and meaning and purpose, etc. Because when things happen in the world or in our day-to-day experience, they bump us and guide us and awaken us to deeper levels. We peel back those layers of the onions over and over. And when COVID happened, not immediately, but maybe in 2021, late 2021, early 2022, I was mad that the government had hijacked people's attention, right? And again, look over here, look at me. We've got this thing going on, which at the end of the day is somewhat irrelevant when you have if people didn't see a problem, right, enough to shut down society and all the other, is there really a problem? And this is the question everyone has to answer for themselves. Some people be like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're questioning the government. You bet I'm questioning the government. They lie to me all the time. They are some of the most sketchy people I've ever known in the world. They lied to me about Iraq. They lied to me about Libya. They lied to me, they lied to me about the Federal Reserve, right? It's not there to stabilize money. It's there for other nefarious reasons. We don't want to go into that right now. It's a problem. It's a problem. I question everything they do because they have a long history of it, but also because when they do things, there are large ramifications, right? Bill Clinton apologized for his actions and he called it destroyed the Haiti rice market. That's a fucking problem. Barack Obama said going into Libya was the biggest mistake of his presidency. That's a problem. Destabilized the whole country. And George Bush, of course, we know George Bush, based on lies, went into Iraq. So I don't know. People who trust the government, I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? Do you understand what the ramifications are? Let's continue.
Of similar vein, there's an author named Ernest Becker, and what he warned about was that if we don't take our own hero's journey, that we will actually suffer even more. Becker's statement is challenge yourself. Otherwise, you will be racked with guilt and you will live a life that is absolutely unfulfilled. Next on the list, number 4, a Stoic philosopher by the name of Epictetus. And essentially what Epictetus said was, know what you can control and let go of and accept what you can't control. And so what he meant by that is...
Reminds me of the, I forget, is it the Lord's Prayer? Grant me the wisdom. Grant me the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know what I can't, and something to know the difference. I have it wrong, but that's, you get the idea, you know it. This guy's digging deep. I love these videos where you don't know what to expect and you're all of a sudden, holy shit.
Stop complaining about stuff that you can't control and do something about the things that you can. And the stuff that you can't, there's no point in worrying about it because you have no control over it. And the last and probably most important rule, this is sometimes called the golden rule. And Jesus Christ is famous for saying this one. And it is...
Let's see if we can predict what it is, because we know the golden rule, I believe it is treat others as they want to, treat others as you want to be treated. And then I like to think of the platinum rule, which I believe is treat others as they want to be treated, which is next level, like knowing them and knowing what they want. Let's see what he says.
Is treat others as you would treat yourself. Or you can paraphrase that to treat others as you would want to be treated. So imagine yourself going around every day and thinking about all the people that you interact with and treating them exactly how you wanted to be treated as a person. And in fact, even if you try that for 1 week, you're going to notice a huge amount of difference in your life. And so if there is any one of these that you can even remember, then treat others as you want to be treated is the golden rule. So there you go. There's 1,000 years of life wisdom in 5 statements. Become who you are. Do what's meaningful. Challenge yourself. Control what you can and accept what you can't. And then the 5th and big one, the golden rule. Treat others as you would treat yourself. And so, which of these statements spoke to you most? Please leave a comment in the section below. And if you like this video, then please click the like button.
That's really good. Let's see if we can find out what this guy is all about. So he's got join the Broke Millionaire Club and get all the bonus content in my newsletter. Let me see what he's got here going down. Hero Formula newsletter. Okay. So he's got that. Okay. Let's go back here. Drawing from centuries of life lessons and meaningful work, I share how true fulfillment comes from personal growth rather from material success. Through embracing a mindset focused on what truly matters, I discovered that living with less brought me more joy than chasing wealth and status. My journey taught me that self-love and minimalist living aren't just trendy concepts, they're essential paths to authentic happiness. That's awesome. Now let's see what people are saying in the comments section. I'm 60 years old, been living all 5 of these rules for 25 years. At 32, my whole world came crashing down. This is a long comment. Okay, I'm not going to read that comment. I'm sure it's good. By the way, the link's in the description if you want to check it out. Some might not believe this, but I have found that if you work towards good for others without expecting anything in return, then you might be blessed beyond measure. I buy it. God grant me the serenity, there it is, to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think it's the Lord's Prayer. I could be wrong. Good wisdom, man. I'm a millionaire. After living in Thailand for 7 months doing nothing, I bought an old house in Australia. I'm spending the next year fixing it up, suffering with purpose. It's so true. A man definitely needs purpose in his life. We do. As my friend Brandon Kroll says, if you don't have a purpose, you will be a pawn in another man's game. Get a freaking purpose. In that sense, purpose protects you. Your purpose will protect you from being a pawn in another man's game. Your purpose will protect you from bullshit. Because when in 2020, when the government was stirring up their propaganda machine and their media machine and they're getting up there and we got a problem, I was like, you guys are clown shows. My purpose, I was on my purpose. When they shut down things in 2020, I was like, doesn't make any difference to me. I'm still doing my purpose. You know, treating others as I would like to be treated is truly the golden rule. Because this, okay, that's a good one. Yep. My favorite is the first one. Suffering with meaning is better than comfort without purpose. Do what's meaningful. I'm a living testimony of this, and I've been preaching this ever since I understood. Cheers, man. Live within your means. The grass isn't always greener. Amen to that. Let's end on that one right there. Especially why we want to live within our means is because the people who are, I don't like to say in charge or elite or whatever, the people that are pulling the strings, let's be honest, you know, bankers, politicians, whatever, they change the playing board all the time, right? They change the game all the time. So people are like, you know what, I'm going to cash out of the game and just like do this chill life. I like his little background here. You know, he looks like he's in some kind of a desert, like Joshua Tree, Arizona. I mean, I may watch some others of his videos down the line. Anyway, there you go. I want to also invite you, if you haven't already checked out One Life, to look into it. It's based on basically what this guy's saying. I mean, all of these sayings are in One Life in one way or another. Instead of challenge yourself. I like to use the word push yourself, but challenge yourself is good as well. If you also the core of One Life is this tool that I developed called How to Find Your Mission in Life. And you can pick that up at gmarkphillips.com/subscribe. That's 41 ideas and insights, questions, introspective questions you can ask yourself, much like he's doing, to help you know your purpose and your mission so you can start walking that path, again, to protect yourself from the craziness in the world, and also give your life meaning and fulfillment and joy and bliss and all those things that we want. Like, what's his name? Talked about, Joe Polish talks about making an ELF business. And an ELF business is an exciting, lucrative, and fun business. Now, I like to add a bunch of other things to it. ELF, MJB, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The MJB being meaningful, joyful, and blissful. You could keep going all the way, satisfying, exhilarating, we already talked about lucrative. You get the idea, but all of these ideas are inside of One Life, and it's a system for living. It's a system for winning the game of life, and it's a framework that you can plug and play ideas and insights you collect on your journey, or just use the ones that I already include in there. It can be a done for you kind of a thing because I've already built in a bunch of them. You don't have to use those. You can remove them. You can move them to different places within the system, but then the system will help you achieve your goals. I find it to be super beneficial in my life. I use it every day, and you can learn more at thisismyonelife.com or pick up that free download at gmarkphillips.com/subscribe. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Until next time, I wish you all the best health, wealth, and success. Bye-bye.